going to give you all a scenario. Imagine that you're given a task. You have a small team, and you're told to document every single word in the English language. Every spelling, every meaning, and every exception. Now, after a day, you might be questioning your life's choices. And after a week, you would be questioning everyone's life choices. But after 13 years, yes, a grueling 13 years, you would finally be done. Now here's a twist. This actually happened, just not with words. From 1990 to 2003, scientists around the world worked together to map every human gene known to exist. This mission, known as the Human Genome Project, took over a decade, billions of dollars, and probably enough coffee to power a small city. But today, with the use of AI, a technology dominating headlines across the world, a replication of the same process might only take several years instead, which is impressive, but also a little bit terrifying. Because for most of scientific history, biology has moved at the urgency of a line at the airport. We would study one cell at a time, one gene at a time, and do one experiment at a time. A scientist might spend the entirety of their career studying a single protein and will still not even fully understand it. Society would experience incredible discoveries, but always in pieces. Think of the scenario like trying to comprehend a novel while only reading one sentence every few months. This was our past perspective, striving to understand complex concepts bit by bit through long, tedious, and extremely careful observation. And then artificial intelligence stepped in and created an entirely new ballgame. AI can analyze millions of data points in mere seconds. It can detect patterns that humans would never even notice, and can make significant connections across entire genomes, diseases, and organisms like humans to find unseen problems. In fact, one model, AlphaFold, an AI system by Google DeepMind, predicted the structure of nearly every single known protein, a complicated challenge that had puzzled scientists for 50 years. And suddenly, biology is turning into not the simple science of observation from our past, but the science of prediction that will take over our future. And it's important to keep in mind that behind every genome is a human being, someone waiting for diagnosis, answers, or hope. And AI helps scientists detect diseases earlier, find patterns faster, and personalize treatments. Think of it like upgrading from a paper map to a GPS, except that this GPS is helping to save lives. But here's a part that we don't talk about enough. Just because we can decode life faster doesn't always mean that we should, at least not without thinking. About 2 years ago, my brother and I were diagnosed with severe myopia along with astigmatism, two eye conditions that would be detrimental to our vision in the future if not properly addressed in the present. My mom, who was obviously very worried about us at the time, decided to use some information from our appointments along with AI, a technology that my dad was fascinated with, to find various possible solutions. And we ended up getting a prescription for a very specific type of contact lenses that slows the progression of these two conditions. But I had a realization. It was acceptable because my parents had access to my medical records and information. But what if somebody else did? And not just medical records, what if they had access to my DNA? Because when AI can analyze our DNA, it raises big questions, like who owns your genetic data? Who gets access to it? And more importantly, what happens if this data is misused? Because your genome isn't just information about you. It's information about your parents, your siblings, and future generations, which makes it less like a password and more like a family heirloom that you never agreed to hand out. AI does not make ethical decisions. People do. Algorithms don't have values, but we do. If we're not careful, AI can reflect bias, widen inequality, or prioritize profit over people. But if we use it responsibly, it can do the opposite, making healthcare more accurate, accessible, and fair. This is why ethics cannot be an afterthought. It has to be a part of the design. Now, this is also where young people come in because we are the generation that will live with the consequences of these choices. So, we should be a part of making them. Now, you don't have to be a scientist or a programmer to care about AI ethics. You just have to be human and maybe a little skeptical, which, let's be honest, comes naturally to teenagers anyways. So I encourage you to voice your opinions in the community. Take the time to spread awareness about AI ethics, not only in biology, but in other fields as well. If you're a student, be the first in your friend group to question AI's use of personal data. And parents, integrate AI ethics and data privacy into discussions about popular apps and websites that your child may use. Try to set a positive example by using AI responsibly, not just for work, but also for everyday use. If the Human Genome Project were to be done today, it wouldn't take 13 years. It would take a much, much shorter amount of time. But now, as we all know, the real challenge isn't speed, it's wisdom. Because AI won't decide what kind of future we build. We decide that. And if we keep humans, real people with real values, at the center of innovation, AI won't just help us decode life, it will help us protect it. Thank you.